This news update is brought to you by
Grab somebody and tell them hello. Your happiness will be connect to flow. Smile and cheer because that is we flow. Grab somebody and tell them hello. With your hands in the air, hands in the air, hands in the air, hands in the air. This is how we flow, yeah. Grab somebody and tell them this is how we flow.
It's Wednesday, October 21st, and time for the Barbados Today Morning Update. A warm welcome to you. I'm Frenella Wedderburn. The president of the Barbados Pharmaceutical Society warns that an increasing number of Barbadians, particularly the young, are abusing over-the-counter drugs, and he's urging authorities to regulate their use. Paul Gibson is fully backing calls by Commerce Minister Donville Innes and Opposition MP Dr. Maria Agard, who yesterday called for greater attention to be paid to the availability of over-the-counter drugs, given the risk to consumers. Gibson is particularly worried about the growing number of young people engaging in the illegal practice.
There are persons that are going into a gas station or a shop or picking up a bottle of something, and then they're going to another shop and they're going to another shop and they're picking these things up, and nobody is aware of this abuse, the abuse of certain medications, and so it is really a concern to the pharmacist. So if you come to a pharmacy, you know, the pharmacist may be aware, hey, Mrs. Skeet, you have hypertension. We don't recommend that you use that particular thing.
Right.
Yeah. Or we may realize that somebody is coming into a pharmacy and using something 3-4 times a week, a cough syrup, and that we know that that's extraordinary.
The pharmacist noted that developed countries like the United States and the United Kingdom have already removed over-the-counter drugs from the public arena and placed them under the supervision of the registered pharmacists. He said the Pharmaceutical Society will continue efforts to ensure Barbados moves in that direction.
My particular executive is working seriously to make sure that it happens in a very due course, but we're just putting things together so that we can have the public support, the support of the medical fraternity, and of course all the other pharmacists here in Barbados to make sure that this happens in the near future.
Regional conglomerate Ansel McCall declares its share offer best for banks, best for Barbados, as it launched a strong proposition to woo banks holding investors. Yesterday, the Trinidad and Tobago headquartered group upped the stakes in the takeover bid for Barbados' largest beverage manufacturer, which has already received a tender offer from SLU Beverages Limited, which is controlled by Brazilian corporation Ambev. Anson McCall, through its subsidiary AM Caribbean Development Ventures Limited, has countered with a $5.20 offer, $1.20 more than the $4 being offered by Ambev. In a statement, Nicholas Moutet, President and Chief Executive Officer of Anson McCall Barbados, said that the company was pleased to put a superior offer on the table. Adding that he was pleased with the level of initial interest in the offer, the Anson McCall boss assured shareholders that banks would retain its name and it would remain in Barbados. Moutet said the acquisition would permit his company to consolidate English-speaking Caribbean beer brands like Carib, Stag, Moccasin, and Red Stripe, and as a result, which will result, in new business development plans for BHL. Meanwhile, a group known as Concerned BHL Shareholders welcomes the Anson McCall offer, saying it was on par with the company's fair market value of $5.20 per share. The shareholders insisted that they have a right to receive the best value for their shares, adding that they were looking forward to other offers. The group, however, made it clear that it would not make a hasty decision, and it urged all stakeholders to carefully examine all offers. Barbados will miss its set 2015 date for provision of nursery schools across the island to accommodate all toddlers, but Education Minister Ronald Jones says his department is aiming to make that target 3 years down the road. The minister was speaking in Parliament yesterday as the House of Assembly approved a resolution for the acquisition by the Crown of Land Endurance Village St. James for access to a proposed nursery school.
So by 2018, all students 3 to 5 will be able to be accommodated either in the public sector or private sector institutions. And this is part of the broader or wider policy, not to displace existing institutions who provide or which provides early childhood care and development, but use it as a complementary process to satisfy the total early childhood grouping in that particular area.
In sports, Chargers kept their hopes of winning the league alive with a 3-1 victory over Barbados Juniors. They played at the Wilde Gymnasium Monday night when the Goddard Enterprises Limited Division 1 Volleyball League competition resumed after a week's break. Juniors got off to a good start when they took the opening set 25-23, but the experienced Chargers took command of the other sets 31-29, 25-16 and 25-23. Also in action were Progressive, who won a 3-1 against Cormair. Deacon's women also played and triumphed over Club United 25-13, 26-24, 22-25 and 25-21. Carlton women also took on Toners, who captured the first set 25-20, but somehow lost their composure and the game, with Carlton registering scores of 25-21, 25-18 and 25-16 to take the game 3-1.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Secure your future, be financially strong. Since 1983, we have been there for you. A smart range of products, great tax benefits. We're the solution to your hopes and your dreams. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. Humble beginnings to smart loans, smart savings. Save smart and borrow smarter, that's the move for me. Stability, prosperity, we're the solution to your hopes and your dreams. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union.
Regional news now, and a lobby group in Guyana is calling for transparency on salary increases for government officials and parliamentarians. In fact, the group Red Thread wants the David Granger administration to withdraw the salary increase. Royston Drakes of Capital News has the story.
Today, Red Thread held a picketing exercise outside of the Ministry of the Presidency. According to Karen D'Souza, in the interest of transparency, all the figures of the increases and allowances should be made public.
We are of the view that one, there is not enough transparency on the issue. So, for example, we've seen some figures in relation to the salaries that will be paid to ministers. We're not happy about that. But what we have not seen, so that we can get a complete sense of the fortunes that will be paid to the government, we have not seen the allowances and the the figures that those allowances will get to. At the same time, be saying that a public servant or anybody else can live on $50,000, which is the minimum wage, but the ministers can't live on $500,000. What does that say about us? So they got to turn this thing upside down.
And finally, the new Canadian Prime Minister honors his promise to the people and withdraws the country's fighter jets from the airstrikes against Islamist State in Iraq and Syria. Hours after leading his Liberal Party to victory in the polls, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau informed U.S. President Barack Obama of his decision. However, he has not yet given a timeline for when the CF-18 fighter jets, which were deployed to the region until March 2016, will return home. And that's our morning update. But for the very latest, log on to www.barbadostoday.bb. Subscribe to our e-paper, our email updates, and of course, like us on Facebook. We're also on Izumi Media and bus terminals or Screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you, as well as Channel 101 on Flow TV and Mix 96.9 FM. I'm Fernella Wedderburn. To have a wonderful day.